Some truly horrific comments on here. I'm staying positive today, for me and for her, and no, I'm not obese, but I knew somebody who was, and all he used to eat was a slice of toast with a slice of cheese every day. And now stop being nasty. Hey, look, excuse me, I think your friend might have lied, because, I'm not the only one holding up a game controller and, just... Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We're going back into r/Fatlogic because, everybody could use a little bit of motivation for weight loss. I've seen people in the comments saying that this actually motivated them to do something good. I'd like to keep that train rolling, As for myself, I am just almost under 200 pounds and I'm getting there. It's a bit of a grind, but, it's not easy, but it's not hard either, so I'm getting there. Any step forward is better than a step backwards. Well, it finally happened. I was in a room of 20 colleagues. We were going around the room introducing ourselves and giving life updates. I gave my update and shared how I was learning to love my body just the way it is and that I have been participating in the fat liberation movement. All of that went fine and was well received. Not 20 minutes later is there a loud snap, and a piece of the chair I'm sitting in goes flying across the room. I had broken a chair that could not handle my weight. I was, and still am, mortified. I will be with these people for another 3 days. Luckily, I did not hit the floor, so sure, I would have cried then. Well, a little while later, I got a text that a new chair was waiting for me in the hall. The new chair is much sturdier, and I feel much more comfortable in it. Thank goodness, because it was going to be a long 3 days in those chairs. I have never broken anything before, so this has been very devastating. What have you broken? Chair breaking on you before? I've had that happen to me, but that was like one of those flimsy dollar store chairs and I was on an incline. So the negative feelings associated with that I can definitely feel, like, to a certain degree. Getting to know everybody and using the fat liberation movement is very much not a little fun fact about yourself people are ever really expecting. Normally it would be stuff like, okay, I have a pet ferret or something along the lines. I like to play video games, not exactly the whole, like, I'm in the fat liberation movement. Learning to love your body, though, that's something I can respect because self-confidence is always good. Being born into wealth grants you exactly the same privileges and obnoxiousness about wealth that being born into a skinny body grants about weight and fat liberation. Fat phobes, don't clown on this post. Weight is genetic. Google is free. Ah yes, but logic? Priceless. I am about as much smarter than you as my T's are bigger than your. A fat person having big boobs is like a skinny person having abs. It just comes because it's there. Hashtag fatphobia, hashtag thin privilege, hashtag wealth inequality, hashtag rich privilege. Ah yes, because babies are naturally born obese. I truly hate to be that person, but I've started eating healthier, like actual real meals and fruits and veggies and snacks, and now none of the junk tastes as good. A helpful tip is to not label any food as junk. Good point, not being purposefully obtuse, but what would you refer to that conglomerate of like snack/fast food as? Fast food, snack foods, etc. I don't know if there's one big encompassing term. Trash, that's the word. One thing I've also kind of noticed with like food that's bad for you, if you have it constantly, you get numb to the taste and it doesn't taste as good. If you only have that like once every 6 months, it tastes so much better. That might just be me though, I'm not entirely sure. Booty building programs marketed to white women are actually a form of cultural appropriation. Hold up, wait a minute. You gatekeeping ass? The diet industry likes to claim that people regain their weight because they went back to their old habits, which is a pretty disingenuous way of saying starvation is unsustainable, and weight loss attempts lead to psychological changes that cause weight gain. Well, as somebody who has actually flubbed their own weight loss because of going back to bad habits, you good dum-dum are wrong. And way to go saying that you're beating starvation by only having 3 slices of pizza, but you don't tell people that they're Costco-sized. For anybody outside of the US that don't know what Costco is, you just remember By and Large from Disney? That. Well, fat people are demanding we find them attractive or we're bigoted. Honestly, yeah. You are all brainwashed. I'm willing to wager 95% of you would have attraction to fat people if you lived in a society where you weren't literally brainwashed into believing fat people were ugly. Unlearn it. What? Aren't you also the same type of person where you would also then say fat man and plus-size women, right? Yeah, you know, because God forbid you have a problem with people having preferences that don't line up with you. If being fat gave you diabetes, all fat people would have diabetes. If being fat gave you joint pain, all fat people would have joint pain. If being thin made you healthy, all thin people would be healthy. Ah, yes, you know, because, like, anorexia don't exist, apparently. If being fat gave you the virus, all fat people would have the virus. I mean, it was one of the unfortunate reasons as to why I was able to get my vaccine faster than a lot of other people. You know, I wasn't proud of that. If being fat gave you heart disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, PCOS, etc., all fat people would have those conditions. Do you just straight up not use Google? Alright, then riddle me this. If one fat person is able to make it to the age of 82, then why aren't all other fat people able to make it to the age of 82? 3 is a common lie that very low-calorie liquid diets jumpstart weight loss. All they do is activate the body's famine response. Weight loss by any method fails the vast majority of the time, and weight cycling does harm. Very low diets just exacerbate that harm. Yeah, because don't you know, if you have something that is the exact same nutritional value as something else, but in liquid form, it apparently is some kind of a starvation mode. I want to know where you cherry-pick that logic. Do you only post about food, weight, and calories now? No, I post other things, but this is on my mind a lot. Well, unfortunately, this is incredibly triggering content, as you frequently post direct numbers and calories, so unfortunately, I have to unfollow you. Good luck on your journey. I'm sorry that this is the case, but I understand. I guess, don't you know, if you follow somebody on social media and they post things that you don't like, you're still obligated to follow them, but make sure you complain about it and then say that you're going to unfollow them. You know what? The only thing I can really think of that is like, alright, don't let the door hit you on the way out. The caption on this one said that the person had stated that they've lost about 83 pounds and this was their process for being able to keep consistent. So you know what? Good on you for the weight loss. If something somebody else is posting on Facebook upsets you, you can either unfriend them, block them, or mute them so they don't show up in your algorithm. I've done that a few times myself. And you know what? I didn't announce my departure like I'm a Boeing 747 about to leave the airport. Because tell me this don't look like the social media equivalent of, well, you've just lost a customer. You aren't fat because you eat too much. Your body is fat because that's just how your body is. You do not need to eat less. You do not need to limit your body. You do not need to punish your body. If anything's a punishment, it's not being able to walk around without feeling pain in your legs. That feels like a punishment in and of itself. If you see my anti-diet posts on my page, good. I am big mad at the fatphobic world we live in, and y'all could use some empathy and education. My body is good enough. Intentional weight loss does not work long term, which means it doesn't work. A 95% failure rate. All foods are good foods unless they have spoiled or you're allergic. Fat people are worthy of respect regardless of their size. You are not actually worried about health, you just hate fat people. You can't actually determine someone's health by looking at them, and that includes their size. Ah yes, you know, because if a person is going around Walmart in a scooter because they get tired from walking from their car to the door, they are definitely healthy as a horse. Weight loss surgery kills, but it's a great moneymaker and people would rather die than be fat. The average size is larger than major clothing brands will have you believe. There needs to be more accessibility, period. Nobody owes you their health. Fat people are not using up more resources. Organic food is not morally or nutritionally superior. You know, it's just scientifically superior. Weight stigma does harm more than being in a fat body. Okay, I got a question then. When was the last time weight stigma caused cardiac arrest? I can recommend books, studies, and professionals with credible resources? I didn't mean to make that a trick question, it just kind of folds out like that. If y'all need, we gotta leave this world a better place than when we found it. Ah yes, you know, because it's totally a better place that we're on the accurate track to head towards the opening of WALL-E. You know, it can't be a good thing that I've already referenced WALL-E twice in the exact same video. Diet culture is calling certain foods healthy/unhealthy, fat phobia is calling it self-respect. Yeah, just wait until this person finds out that you can be both healthy and happy at the same time. One of the reasons I like sushi so much is that it has fish and it has veggies in it. Both of those are very good, and yes, you can go without the rice sometimes in case you want to avoid the carbs, but it's actually pretty darn good for you. Plus, I've never seen a place that gives you an immense amount of sushi as a single serving. Like, it's always at like maybe 6, 8, or even 10 pieces of those little tiny rolls and such, and yeah, it don't exactly equate to being too much food. Despite weighing 490 pounds, Blank insists she eats mostly salads, and that her size is mainly due to a thyroid condition. You know, I had to actually look it up. It says here that the average weight that somebody gains from having a thyroid issue is 20 to 30 pounds. Alright, so explain the other 460. Actually, some other places are saying it's only 5 to 10 pounds, but still, explain the other 90% of your weight. And like I've stated in the past, like, it's also a thing about how much of a thing that you eat, because there are still calories in the food you eat, even if it's healthy food. If you have a salad every day for a month, except you load it up to the absolute brim with dressing, bacon bits, cheese, and everything else that you add onto it, and have an industrial amount of it, you are going to gain weight. But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up the wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.